Hey guys, how are you today? This is Sander with GC Termite Control, and today I'm here to talk to you about VA, FHA, certified wood destroying organism or termite inspection requirements when it comes to your property loan. So when you're purchasing or refinancing a property with either a VA or an FHA loan, which are government subsidized loans, they have some additional requirements that conventional loans don't have. As I mentioned, one of them is going to be the inspection that you have to do on your property to make sure that there's no termites, there's no rot, there's no leaks, to make sure that the property is in good condition. That inspection, it has to be completed by a licensed and certified inspector in the state of California. That's going to mean that it's going to be a licensed branch 3 inspector from the Structural Pest Control Board. And as I mentioned, what we're going to do, we're going to go check the house. Once we're done checking the house, we're going to give you a report. That report's either going to be based on the state provided sheet or the federal provided sheet, which is going to be the MPMA 33. Usually the state form, it's going to be what all the loan companies or mortgage companies are going to be requiring from you. But sometimes if you're doing like out of state, they might require an MPMA 33. But either way, as I mentioned, once we go and inspect the property, we give you that paperwork so that you can give that to your bank and they know how the property is currently doing. One of the things, if there is any findings on your property, if you do have termites or if you do have rots or if there is a roof leak, they have to be addressed before your property gets certified. So that means that your loan might have to wait a little bit till you fix the areas. So if you have termite, you got to replace the wood, you got to treat the area. That's gonna mean either a local treatment or a fumigation or an orange oil treatment, depending on what's going on and what is your preference. And then if you have rot, then that's going to mean just changing the wood, putting a fungicide in the area, and then addressing what's causing the moisture problem. Or again, if you have like a roof leak or a plumbing leak, that's going to be required to be fixed. So you might have to get a plumber or a roofer to go out to the property to address what's going on in there. Once those areas get completed, if you do have anything going on in the house, which usually, properties, unless it's a really new house, they're gonna have something in the house. Properties built over 10 years ago are the ones that are more susceptible because there's more activity around the area. The more houses are going to have them, the fences are going to have them, the trees are going to have them, so it's more likely to get activity. But again, you can see them anywhere. I have some houses that were built a couple years ago. I went out to inspect them and they had some termites in the attic. What sometimes could happen is, when they're building the house, there might be some because the lumber stays so long on the outside, some termites might get into the lumber before they actually build the house. So once they build it, they're kind of built with the termites. But again, that's very rare. And in either case, that's going to be something small that could be treated, without major issues or major damage occurring. But more likely than not, you're going to have to do a little bit of maintenance. That's why it is recommended, if you know that you're going to be needing one of these loans, if you're going to be refinancing, try to fix the areas before we go. If you have a leak, fix the leak. If there's a problem with the wood, fix that. That way there's less surprises and it's gonna be more convenient to you. Once everything gets resolved, we give you a notice of completion, which is gonna state what was fixed on the house, and then that's gonna have the certification verbiage, which it's gonna be able to clear the house, and that's gonna be the requirement for the loan to make sure, as I mentioned, that there's nothing really wrong going on the property. There could be minor things like sometimes water stains or a little bit of stucco damage, things like that. Your underwriter or your loan officer, they might not require you to fix them, but any actual problems on the house, those ones will have to be remediated. Of course, you do want to talk to your loan officer to make sure you know exactly what they're looking from you. We do the inspection, we let you know exactly what's going on the property, but every loan is different. Well, this information that I'm giving you, it's general information. That's usually the case. It's not in every single scenario. So your loan officer is going to be the best person to answer the specific questions in regards to what needs to be completed in the house. Also, just so you know, if you do have major damage, because what happens is a lot of people, they do the refinance on the house to try to fix the house, if they know that they have problems in there, but then that means they don't necessarily have the money to fix it. But what can be done in those scenarios, if you do have damage occurring to your property and they need to be resolved, they can be done by a company like us. We're a licensed company and we can bill the bank directly. That way, they pretty much either just put it on your loan or take it out of your cash out money. But that way you're able to get the repairs, close the loan, and then complete whatever you were trying to achieve with your loan. In the loans, there is a couple of findings that are going to be, or in the inspection, there's going to be a couple of types of findings, as I mentioned, that are going to be important to you, which is going to be Section 1 and Section 2 items. Section 1 items are going to be items that, they're active infestations on the property. It's damage from an active infestation or an infestation in general. For example, when you have termite damage or rot damage on your property, that is going to be a Section 1 item. Section 2 items, those ones, some banks are a little bit more lenient about them, but those are going to include areas that might attract infestations or problems in the future. So if you have water stains, water damage, a loose toilet, those would be considered Section 2 items. So yes, I mentioned those are usually the ones that the banks are going to require, more so Section 1 items. Those are the most important ones. Sometimes Section 2 items, they just let them slide. They're not, as I mentioned, a problem at this point, but they're still highly recommended in the future, and more if you know that you have the problem, to try to fix them. That way they don't become an actual problem or a structural issue in your house. And that's about it. As I mentioned, we inspect the property, we make sure there's nothing going on the house. If there's nothing going on the house, then you're good to go. You get your certification, your paperwork, and you're good for the loan. But as I mentioned, if there is something going on, then what's going to happen is either we're going to have to go out, or another licensed company or contractor has to go out, address the areas. Once the areas get addressed, then you're going to get a notice of completion certifying the property, and that's what's going to complete the requirement for the bank. But again, this is general information. Confirm with your loan officer. Every situation is different, so this is just my advice based on the experience that I had in the past. I do have over 10 years of experience handling VA and FHA loans. We inspect the property, we clear properties. We do this for refinancing purposes. So if you do need any assistance with that and are in the San Diego area, we service San Diego County, and you can give us a call at 619-421-2101. And of course, if you do have any questions or concerns, comments, anything at all, you can give us a call, or you can leave us a message down below, and we will get back to you as soon as possible. All right. Well, have a really nice day, a really nice week, and have a great 2019. Thank you.